It's been nearly a year and a half since Jocelyn Lovell went from being one of the fastest men on wheels to one of the slowest. It's a long way from a magical day in Edmonton in 1978 when he became the first cyclist ever to win 3 gold medals in the Commonwealth Games.
Here comes Jocelyn Lovell on the outside. He's got the lead. Jocelyn Lovell powering his way down the back straight. Into the final turn for home. Canada's Jocelyn Lovell has the lead. He looks like he's going to win the gold medal. Jocelyn Lovell coming in over the line. Jocelyn Lovell takes it at the gun.
The 70s were Lovell's golden years as he set out to become Canada's best amateur cyclist ever, by the end of his career amassing more than 50 national and international championships. And there was another side to Lovell, the cocky, smart-alecky loner, constantly brushing with cycling officials and fellow competitors. He missed going to the 1974 Commonwealth Games in New Zealand after he was suspended for stealing a box of cookies from his hotel while training in France.
Number 27.
But 2 years ago, at his last World Cycling Championships ever in Leicester, England, Jocelyn Lovell was unrepentant about those years.
Back then, whatever I did or wherever I went was my decision and my own money, you know, or wherever I could scrape up money. And I'll admit I lied, cheated, and I stole. I was very close, you know, to being world champion. Best I did was come second. But I know what I had to do to get there. I couldn't trust anybody else. I couldn't trust anybody else's expertise in Canada. I had to go watch, listen, ask questions. And that's how I made it to almost the top.
You're now racing against some people who may not have been born when you first started. Why do you keep going?
Because I like doing it. I like it.
It was along this stretch of road northwest of Toronto at about 5 minutes to 7 on the evening of August the 4th, 1983, that Jocelyn Lovell's life changed suddenly, brutally, and forever.
After the accident, Lovell was flown by helicopter to Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto, where doctors worked around the clock to save his life. He was shockingly injured. Apart from a severed spinal cord, he had fractured his pelvis, his upper left arm, and his left thigh. While being dragged for more than 100 feet under the back wheels of the dump truck, he lost half of his scalp and most of his right ear. There was massive internal bleeding, and for weeks he was to hover between life and death. 10 weeks after the accident, Jocelyn Lovell was considered well enough to give a news conference. His head kept erect by a metal halo, he thanked those who'd offered him sympathy and support. That same day, he was to be transferred to nearby Lyndhurst Hospital, which specializes in spinal injuries. There he would begin months of intensive therapy to equip him to cope with life as a quadriplegic. He'd been warned it would be tough, and it was.
I thought I knew what hard was, what difficult was, until I started doing these things in physiotherapy. I even thought I was tough until I got down to the physiotherapy room. And I wasn't tough at all. I knew nothing.
Just give a stretch down.
Lovell's physiotherapist, Helen Bailey, had little to work with. Just the few muscles in his upper arms and shoulders and neck which had survived the accident. His hands and his legs had become useless appendages to his body.
Well, it's almost as if you were just head and shoulders and you didn't have anything below that level. You see your limbs which worked before. He can't feel anything. Some people have decreased sensation, but he has none at all. So if you touch him all the way up to his chest, his hands he can't feel, up to about his elbows he can't feel anything there.
Cover up the fingernails so they don't see it.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
But it wasn't all pain at Lyndhurst. There were even some things that Lovell enjoyed doing, such as the arm bicycle.
Okay.
He worked on it daily and could feel it helping him develop strength in his shoulders.
Psychologically, I kind of liked it because it was something for the first time that I was doing myself. I could sit there and go as fast or as slow as I wanted to. I could feel it. I could feel myself tiring. I could feel my heart rate increase, and I could even feel my face become flushed somewhat. So it's a good feeling. Get down there.
From physiotherapy, Lovell went into occupational therapy to learn the basic skills which would enable him, however inadequately, to function. The first thing his therapist, Susan Forwell, taught him was how to put on the arm splints, which would be an extension of his hands for the rest of his life.
His high profile in the community hasn't really affected his rehab here. I think Jocelyn sees himself, and as I do, as another patient here in the hospital.
That's not bad at all. It's pretty good.
Can I go to bed now?
Is that physical accomplishment in his past a good thing here, or does it make all of this more difficult?
Well, his motto is no pain, no gain.